I just wanted to give you guys another update before winter came. Today's date is November 11th. The last time I made a video was June 12th, so it's been 5 months. So the leaves are starting to fall off the trees, and winter's upon us. You guys are probably all wondering what my tallest plant is. It's going to be the one that first started to grow. It's 10 feet, if you can believe that. I think part of the reason why I had so much success in getting the height that I have so far is I was originally just putting the grass around the border, and then just to kind of hold the plastic down so it didn't blow away in the wind as the wind came underneath the holes to kind of lift it off. What I eventually did, because I had so many grass clippings during the season, was I just ended up putting it over the entire sheet of the plastic. So as the grass decayed, the nutrients inside the grass came down and, I'm assuming, helped assist grow the Miscanthus. I did not put any other fertilizers besides the grass clippings, and now I am mulching up my leaves, and then these are all leaves going all the way down, and I put those as the base over top of the grass because eventually it just decays so much that there really isn't anything left. Other than that, as far as keeping the weeds down, because you can tell that there really isn't much weeds in and around the Miscanthus now, just because the grass clippings and the leaves are taking care of that pretty well. I used 2,4-D. I did it 3 times during the entire summer, and I think they were split up around maybe 3 weeks apart. And then I just used the typical ratio that it called out on the jug of 2,4-D just for getting rid of your lawn weeds. I didn't water any of the Miscanthus after July, just to kind of get through the heat of the season. So as soon as July was over, I didn't water it any. And then this was the line behind my house, the first one that I planted. You can see that the row that didn't start to grow, it eventually came up, and you can tell it came up pretty well. Besides right where this tree is, you can see all the plants I think were deprived of water and or nutrients other than the grass clippings that I put down, so they didn't grow nearly as tall as my 10 feet. I can take a measurement real quick and let you guys know, if you were to plant it around a tree, how tall it would be approximately. So I just measured this one and this one right here, and the smallest was about 2 feet, and then the other one was about 4 in comparison to my tallest, which is 10, and that's, like I said, right behind this tree. So I'm gonna go to the back of the property and show you my 2-week and then 3-week Miscanthus, so you can kind of get an idea of the height on those as well if they are 2 or 3 weeks apart in your planting. Okay, so for the back row, which was my 2nd week into planting, as you can see, I have some lower areas and then some that didn't grow right there, and then again another lower area. But the tallest is 9 feet, and it's going to be the one right there. My average is about 7 feet, and then again in the smaller areas it's about 3 to 4 feet tall, especially on the end over there. And then my 3rd week of planting is going to be this spot right here. And as you can see, I'm not even going to measure it, but it's probably about 5 feet on the end, and then maybe 4 feet right here. But not hardly any of them grew. So if I could give you guys any advice, I would say as soon as the planting season for Giant Miscanthus is, I would get it in the ground, because you're only going to benefit with what's going to be coming out of the ground. You can see here that some of them, they just barely got through to poke through. And then obviously it's hard to keep up with the weeds And yeah, they just kind of struggle the later in the season that you start to plant. And the back here is where I planted the what I suspected to be dead Miscanthus, and I only got one to pop up, and I accidentally mowed over top of it. So I think next year what I'll do is I'll make a separate video. Sorry, I just wanted to add two more things. I'm sure you guys are curious about the distance from the tree from the first plant that doesn't have quite as much height. I'm sure is due to the roots, is 15 feet between here and here. So if you're on the fence, I'd probably add about another 5 feet away from the tree, and it should alleviate the problem that I'm having. If you're wondering what the screen looks like in the first year, there's the house, my neighbor's house, and you can barely see. So it should fill in pretty well next year. I'll go to the back and I'll kind of show you what it looks like back there as well, because that screen's a little bit better. All right, so there's my neighbor's blue house, and then there's the screen there. I'll come over to the side, and you can see the screen's pretty well covered. Another thing I think you guys are probably curious about is the plumes on the top. What color are they? So I'll pull one down. It's kind of like a pretty white in the summer, and then right now it's kind of turning to like a whitish tan, maybe with a little bit of gray in it. So if your wife is on the fence with Miscanthus, I mean, I would say it's actually quite pretty in the summer, and in the fall, honestly. They kind of wilt over just a little bit,